been trying to get money, they ask Johnny where you been at. Ducked off in the hood, getting money where they spin at. Out here with it solo, cause my God is on parole. Southside got it still on swole, you know where that effing in at. But we won't get into that, cause these boys got quick lips. Hate on Fat Johnny in the Audi with the stick shift. Catch him in that red zone, hit him with that pick six. This is Crooked Christie, small city, big business. Look, you gon' need a cosign, cause we definitely throw hands when it go down. Dion in his prime, showtime at the showdown. Ain't no gas in the cutter, but you getting mowed down. Smoking on this hybrid, this shit hit like Gohan. Then I pass it to my bad bitch. We chop it up, she slop it up like some mad witch. Shit's pretty, you can paint them on the canvas, but I'ma bust on them like a motherfucking savage. Fat essay on a jet ski, they think I'm Cali. In your baby mama tub, eating chicken salad, trying to track my package. They telling me it's hitting Dallas, and they gonna pay a pretty penny once it hit the valley. Johnny.
Live at 5. And we are in the building.
Trill.
Yo, what's the deal? Little Christmas episode. This is episode number 6 of Trill Talk with your boy Loud. Yeah, well, we gonna always kick the truth, speak the real, and always keep it Trill. Episode 6, we in the building.
Trill.
With none other than the Crooked Christie CEO, brand ambassador, entrepreneur, marketing guru animal, my guy, Mista Playboy, Brian Rivera. What's up, Papa? West Side in the building.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Molina in the building tonight.
Right.
So, man, we're gonna kick it off. Good to have you on the show, man. On the podcast, we've been trying to be selective about some of the guests. And I got a long list. You know what I mean? But I'm glad to have you on today. You know, kind of earned your spot out here to be able to be on this podcast today. You know, with the topics that we talk about, one of them definitely is you being an entrepreneur early on, man. Mista Playboy, been around a long time. So if those in the city don't know who you are, let's give a little rundown about who Mista Playboy is. You know, your early coming ups, what elementary to go to, what middle school, and kind of when you kind of started doing the music and media thing, because you kind of always been doing both. So you were one of the first guys I know that's always kind of done both.
Yeah.
So let's kind of give us a rundown, you know, on where you're from and how you got to where you're at right now.
Well, for those that don't know, I come from the west side of Corpus.
Molina, stand up.
Born and raised in Molina. Been there all my life. My family's been there since there was pavement on the ground.
And I'll give you that, bro. That's one thing that you've always done. Rep your hood, rep your side, never switched up.
Well, it's important. To me, it's important because, like, for those that I've grown up with, the ones that are older than me and the ones that are younger than me, I mean, there's a lot of people that are not there no more. You know what I mean? That have passed away. Some of them at a very young age, and to me, it's important to just always continue to represent where you're from.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's probably people in the neighborhood too that, you know, I have not come across, you know, just because they may be older and they may not a part of like what I was a part of.
Yeah, that neighborhood's deep and it's thick with roots, man.
And what people don't understand too is that a lot of us are related to each other.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like growing up,
you're one of those dudes with a lot of cousins.
Yeah. Like
for
literally,
sure, I know
like
that.
growing up, like my grandma used to tell us like to be careful who we would like be interested of, because like sometimes you didn't know that this person was, you know, related to a second cousin, a third cousin, or whatever. So there was a lot of that. But at the same time, I love where I come from, man. I've learned everything from where I come from, and I always feel that, you know, the people that went to West Oso don't get a lot of credit. There's been a lot of successful people that have come out of West Oso and the Molina area that sometimes get overlooked. You know what I mean? Yeah, you might get like little splurts of this and that or whatever, but, you know, like recently they just did a documentary or whatever, but even one of my uncles, he said himself, there's a lot of things that are missing in that, and there's a lot of pieces.
What documentary is that?
A documentary,
for those that don't know.
A documentary that they did on how Molina actually came together.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? So you can watch it on YouTube. So it's like 30 minutes. Beautiful documentary though. The way they put it together, all the history on it. But again, you're only taking certain pieces from, individuals that may only know this and that. You know what I mean? So not to take away from it, but if you actually got a lot of other people, that thing would probably be, I don't know, as long as the Titanic movie.
Yeah, no, I feel you,
But,
man.
yeah.
Shit, that neighborhood has produced a lot of solid people in the streets, in sports, in the community, period. Like I said, it's rich in roots and it runs deep.
Yeah.
So shout out. And you went to West Oso District your whole life?
Yeah. From
the jump.
From John F. Kennedy all the way up to the high school that's now a junior high. You know what I mean? And my kids go there. And I mean, I just love it, man. I mean, like I said, it's just the people that come out of there. It's a beautiful thing that, there's a lot of people there that give back, to the city. You have Alex with El Vago right around the corner that does a lot.
Shout out to El Vago.
Not just, for the communities, for the neighborhood, but also to the community himself, you know what I mean? So shouts out to him. But I mean, there's just been a lot of things that come out of Molina, man. And,
I know shout out to Miss Robbie and her barbershop. They still there?
Barbershop? Still there. Yeah,
man,
still rocking.
I used to go to Miss Robbie's barbershop, man, probably 20 years ago or some shit like that, a long time ago.
Yeah. And then you got to remember, too,
since.
like, I lived down the street from Selena, too. And I used to see her every day amongst other people that lived in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? So that's one thing that, like, no matter where I go, whether it's California, New York, or wherever, and that the topic of her comes up and they talk about certain things that they might have seen in Netflix or, whatever. It's like, I just know that's my backyard.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
There.
So
you were there from a stomping ground.
It's just like one of those, like, people that probably grew up with Michael Jackson or, like, Prince or something, and they just... You can only talk about certain things because, you saw it for yourself. And even though when she passed away, I was only 10 years old, I do vividly remember
I remember the day.
Like
I remember that day, bro.
I was in 4th grade.
It was raining. It was raining that day. I remember that day.
But, no, man.
That's crazy. So, growing up in Molina, what early on, as far as music inspirations were there for you that eventually caused you to lead your way into music, whether it was rapping or any type of music, period? What early influences did you have?
I would have to give credit to my older brothers and also like my other cousins and stuff, because my family is like super music oriented. Like my older brother
I think I met one of your older brothers one time, but I can't remember where, but I did meet him.
My older brother, Joe, most know him because he dabbled in heavy metal music and was like one of those that were all a part of the metal scene, had like one of the dopest groups. But, he had been playing and doing shows since, they were in high school, with everybody from the neighborhood, like Anthony Loetta on drums, David Loetta on guitar, and everybody else that played. But, I used to watch him and my other brothers just like write music and, dabble on the keyboard to figure out melodies. And, back then my brother was like just recording riffs like on a 4-track tape thing.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
And so I used to sit there with him and just watch him and stuff like that. And it's you're going into somebody's room that you couldn't even see the wall. It was just nothing but posters from Metallica to Ozzy Osbourne to Sepultura to Slayer, all this stuff. So early on, like, I was already adapted to all types of music from Tejano to rock. Like my cousin Jesse's, is a full-blown mariachi, which is him, his wife, his 5 kids, and the other members that he's recorded. So it's like 12, 13 of them. And and there's other people in my family that, I've dabbled in music here and there, but I would probably have to say, like, they all look at me like I'm the one that's kind of on top of the list, I guess, because of all the things that I've done, and, the people I've stood next to and shit like that. But I give full credit to always just watching them and seeing how things were created, and it just slowly turned into me going into rap. You know what I mean?
So you said, so let me ask you this, because I always felt this, and I kind of want to pick your brain about this. Mm-hmm. Growing up in the 90s, I felt like those of us that were able to grow up in the 90s, I feel like we have a different approach to music because we were able to adhere to different genres and find something that we liked in different genres, because there was actually so many different genres, at that particular time. You could have, in the 90s, you had a country music song that you liked, a fucking like a punk rock song that you liked, an alternative song you liked, a dance song you liked, and there was just so many different genres of music. Now I feel like it's just pop music, and then you have your basic genres.
Well,
do you feel like that kind of shaped the ear that you have for music today? Because I tell people this all the time, like, if you didn't grow up in the 90s, your ear for music isn't the same as mine. You know what I mean?
Well, because people fail to realize, like the people that are like younger than us, right? What they fail to realize is that I couldn't sound like you and you couldn't sound like me.
Yeah.
Right? Like let's take that for what it is, because that's a fact, right? Like,
and you're saying that as someone making music,
yeah,
back
just like if you came out and said like, man, I want to make music, right? Like,
you didn't want to sound like nobody else.
Nas couldn't sound like Tupac, and Tupac couldn't sound like Nas, right?
Yeah.
Like Biggie couldn't sound like Jay-Z, and Jay-Z couldn't. Like, it's the same thing. Whether you're a major player, just an independent, like that wasn't what it was. Because people would be like, "Oh, you're just trying to sound like so and so," right?
And now it seems like they push that for that shit.
Well, because that's the thing, though, and this is what I've told King in the past. It's what it is people are more acceptive to the bullshit. See, there's nobody standing there and be like, whoa, like, hold up. Why do 100 of y'all sound exactly the fucking
Why
same?
are there 4 little babies?
Exactly. But it's because nobody cares. That's flat out what it is. Nobody cares. You get what I'm saying? Because people's attention span is from one day to the next. Sometimes just from 1 hour to the next hour. That's why nobody cares about music, nobody cares about art, nobody cares about the way something is shot.
So do you think that has to do with the influx of content and media in our face, and as opposed to back then, we literally had to wait for the TV show to come on, or you know what I mean, to get our fix?
I mean, a lot of times too, we didn't even know what was even going to be aired from one week to the other.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like now it's like
the TV guide that hoe.
Yeah, like and you
remember TV guide? The TV guide on Sunday.
But even think about it like this, right? Like I'll just use this because everybody watches this. Let's just take Stranger Things as an example, right? They throw a clip on there, and now everybody tries to figure it out.
Yeah.
And everybody has a theory, and everybody's making all these other videos. And then now we have the thing of AI. So everybody's making these fake videos.
Yeah.
And you have people that don't know what's real and fake anymore.
Yeah.
So they'll share this fake narrative.
Yeah.
And then when the show comes out, they're like, oh, shit, well, I thought this was going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you never knew in the first place. You just went off what somebody was saying, you know? So I feel like with anything, and even music, it's always just the same shit over and over. But the thing is when you have enough people that are just like running with it, obviously the people that actually care, it becomes a smaller circle, and everybody's just on the sidelines like, all right, whatever. You get what I mean? Like, it's like running with the bulls. Like, eventually you're just gonna be like, I'm just gonna get out the fuck away. Like, I don't want to get hit. Like, so it's kind of like that. And I feel like coming up like in the 90s and just listening to music, and when you listen to music back then, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's rap, country, there was a lot of feeling into it.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like rap back then, rap was more about you being the baller.
Yeah.
Not the drug fiend, the baller.
Yeah.
We got it. For some reason, there was a thin line that everybody crossed, that everybody wanted to be a dope fiend.
Now it's crazy.
You get what I'm saying, though? Like think about it. Like, think what Master P was telling us.
Yeah.
And when you look at it now,
Time to check my crack.
Right? Like, slang crack like this. You know what I mean? Like, he's telling you, like, it made you want to go out there and so dope.
Yeah.
But now it's like everybody just talks about popping pills, drinking lean, and I get it. Like
I blame Future.
but again, too, everybody.
I think it started off with 3 6.
You think so? With the whole
3-6,
lean thing
sipping
and
on some
everything?
scissor.
I think they were just the first ones to actually say we're doing drugs.
Well, if you're gonna go, if you're gonna go that far,
Without the
if you're gonna go that far, Texas in itself, we were in our own bubble, so Screwed Up Click was doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I didn't start sipping drink because 3 6 Mafia. I was sipping drink before 3 6 Mafia came out with that shit.
But then when you rewind the tape though and you go back, we're talking about things like promethazine and all this shit, right? But when you look at when rock and everything was more dominant, you're talking about dudes that were doing cocaine.
Oh fuck
And you get
Heroin
you,
shit.
you get what I'm saying? So it's like so when you look at some of these things and you kind of like get older and you start to break it down, you're just like, well, shit, everybody's on drugs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the drug of choice on another scale was cocaine, you know, and when you got to that certain limit to where you couldn't get high off of that, then it went further, you know what I'm saying? And that goes, I mean, it's just not with music, it goes with actors and all these other people, you know.
Sure.
But I just think like the difference between then and now is that everybody just wants to sound the same. But then you have those two that see one rapper or one artist and they think, oh shit, that worked for them. And they try to duplicate that. And it's like, you know, 9 out of 10, there's so much money being pushed behind somebody that's why they're at a certain scale. I'll be honest, there's not a lot of people that I can actually say like, oh my God, that person's talented in music. You know what I mean?
I feel like, man, I mean, this is just my opinion, but I feel like the XXX and the Juice World guys, I feel like them two guys started something, they died, and then after they died, that kind of gave everybody the free pass to go and sound like them. And I feel like that caused a big influx of I'm just talking about hip hop, of rappers that wanted to sound and go in that wave and go in that direction. And that was like a almost a gold rush for artists to sound like that. So that's why we got a big influx of people that were influenced by Juice World and XXX. And
then you had
they have this sound, you know what I mean?
You had a bunch of people too, and it's still being made, but there's a lot of people that make like fake emotional depression music because they see what other people got, like they got rich off that.
Yeah,
so
I'm
they
gonna
feel
be
like
honest,
I'm gonna
bro.
write all that stuff, and it's just like, bro, that is the most dumbest shit.
I'm gonna be honest,
ever.
bro. That is one of the subgenres of hip hop that I just hate, bro. I really do. I do not like it. I do not support it. I don't like, me as a hip hop fan, I don't like it being fucked with, tainted in that style, like that emo shit. Like it's all right to have a song every now and then. Everybody's got to have that type of song in their catalog. But to create a whole style off of that shit, like I don't like that shit.
Like if you're telling stories,
I don't. Yeah,
you
like,
know what I mean. It's one thing, but when you're actually trying to live a fake persona of like you're just so some of these rappers that we all know that have real money and they're still out here acting like they're just real fucking depressed. Like, bro, I don't believe that. Like you couldn't give me $1 million and I'm gonna walk around just super sad. Like I'm gonna go buy something that at least makes me happy. You know what I mean? Whether it's, I don't know, my favorite drink or whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? Like favorite pair of shoes or something. But there has to be some, like, do I believe in mental, you know, disorder and people that are like that? Of course, there's depression and stuff. But to solely just wake up and be like, this is what I want to be. I don't believe that.
And I'm gonna be real with you, bro. That type of shit has like what totally pushed me to the side on wanting to even include myself in people that do music, bro. It's like, it sucks because I'm just a different type of creative person. I like to create the music. I don't like performing. I like making the music and shooting a video and then moving on.
But but as long as I've known you, way before I even met you, I know that you were more wanting to just play the background.
Yeah, I'm that's just that type of dude.
The other people that were with you.
Yeah, I've always been that type of dude.
But I know that, just off of facts. So when you say that, I totally understand where you're coming from.
And I feel like, I don't know, it just like pushed me to just really be like a disgruntled worker, bro. You know what I mean? That's how I feel, like the disgruntled guy in the office.
You're the old
I've
head
literally become the disgruntled unk at the office, bro. And I've had to get comfortable in these shoes, bro, because I feel like I'm that guy, bro.
No,
I feel like I am that disgruntled
it's not
worker,
that.
and I feel like I've earned the right to say I don't like that. I don't like that, and I'm gonna stand on business. I don't like this. What you're doing to rap.
See, but this,
you know what I mean?
Okay, but this is
for real. Though, I hate being that dude.
But this
I
is
feel
the
like
problem, though. And if anybody's watching, this is the problem. This is the society that we live in. The society that we live in now, it's a problem to say that you don't openly like something, right? Like, if I don't like this type of soda, it should be okay, right? Like, if you don't like this type of
pop.
yeah, like if you don't like this type of song, I shouldn't hate you for it, or I shouldn't say you're old head and you don't understand. No, it's because, again, we come from an era to where music was actually written and it had like some type of fucking meaning to it.
Yeah.
Right? Like it meant something. Like even like rock songs and all this shit, like, you know, now it's just different. People are just throwing words together.
Yeah, I mean,
and
that
it's
was
just,
that fucking Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Versace. These motherfuckers were just started making songs about brands. They couldn't come up with nothing else.
What's it called whenever you just doing it like
it's just a chant, like a chant. Oh yeah.
You just coming up with the next thing that
Yeah, bro.
Like
Yeah.
And I've been around long enough, and I've been in the studio long enough to see the development of the artist become that. I remember when everybody wrote. And then it started going to phones. Everybody was typing on their phones.
Mm-hmm.
Now everybody punches in, bro. Even to the point where I watched the transition of my homeboy got free my brother Gotti Green, but I watched Gotti Green transition to that. Where
all three stages.
yes, from writing to the phone to then he just punches in. And I watched it, bro, and these artists that have developed into this, you know what I mean? But some of them are doing it just because they want to put in that little effort. Just a little bit.
But they
you know
also
what I mean? Just
want
a little
somebody
splash.
else to say that he punches in now. Think about that. Like, I still write shit on
don't know,
paper.
bro.
I write shit on paper. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
but that's,
I'm
I've
a
always
paper or
wrote on
phone
paper.
guy.
I'll continue to write on paper. The only time I'll ever write in my phone is if I'm somewhere else recording. But that only, like, in my whole lifetime, I have literally only recorded maybe 4 different spots, which one would be Smoke Spot, a place in New York, a place in San Antonio, and then I think another place here somewhere. That's about it. Other than that, it's just always written on paper. I don't know what it is.
So let me ask you: when you record, how do you record? Do you record your first bar to last bar, straight verse? Do you cut it in half? Do you cut it in quarters? Like, how do you do it? Because I most of the time I'll break it into pieces, just where my breathing is. It's not necessarily the same every time, but I always break it into pieces.
I mean, when I first started, because I didn't know any better, I was trying to rap the whole fucking song from the verse to the hook and go back. But this is, again, I'm like 14, 15 years old. I just felt like I had to get it all in one take. But I also,
you would do the verse, then do the hook, and then jump back in?
Because, no, but it's only because you got to think about it like this. At first, when I was just making like random mixtape shit, I was using a karaoke machine.
Tape,
so there was just like you recorded it, and then like I don't even think I ever got like my last bar to go into the hook. I think it was just like cut off.
Yeah, so I'm lying. I did the same shit.
Yeah,
I did the same shit I forgot. When we did the tape or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was just a karaoke. But then it wasn't until I started recording at Gilly's recording studio, which is the first time I actually was in the studio, and like
Gilly's, I know
Uncle
that.
Stores.
Okay,
it was Uncle Stores.
It was Uncle Stores, right?
Before you got to Galahar.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah, right next to the old Liao shop.
Yes,
that's where it was.
That's where it was. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, he used to.
I remember I met homie. I never went over there. God, I can't even remember. Dog, it's been so long.
He never recorded rap. What it was that I opened up the phone book one day, and because I remember it was either junior high or going into high school. And I was just like, man, I really want to record like a real song, right? Because I felt like I was ready. The songs that I had recorded, I was always recording them at home, like over and over to just get it right. And
this is like in what year, dog?
Man, I'm like, 14, 15 years old. You were talking about like 1999. if I got the date right around there, like
So
1999.
99 would have been.
2000. I graduated in 2004, so it would have been around 99, 2000. So I opened up the phone book and Gilly's thing caught my attention because he had the biggest ad in there. Like, so I was like, oh shit, this must be like the
Him and Killer, right? They were like crazy.
No, I think
No?
it was
I remember
somebody
he had
else.
his
Yeah,
shit in the
Killers
phone
had
book
his shit in
forever.
there too, but there was somebody else too, I think. I can't remember who it was. But Gilly's was the biggest one, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
remember. And Rainbow.
Yeah,
too.
Rainbow Studios and all that shit.
Yeah, I
and
remember Rainbow.
so I called up Gilly, got the address.
What y'all OGs know about Rainbow? And Gillies. We're talking this. That's
Yeah.
how you know. We talking to some OGs, right? We're talking about Gillies,
Yeah.
Rainbow.
But check it out.
GQ.
Though. I got to Gilly's and I told him, man, I'm trying to record this song or whatever. He didn't record rap. All he
Yeah.
did was country and rock and all that shit.
Yeah,
Like he
yeah.
didn't record no rap. And he goes, oh, I don't really record that, man. Like, you know, I'm not really down with the cussing and yada, yada, yada. So I was like, oh, no, man, like there's no cussing in my songs.
Yeah.
Like in this time, right? So I said, man, I just want to record. Like whatever it is, I'll pay for it. I think it was like $30 an hour. Back then, that was like, you know, like you're paying $100
Yeah, no,
an
I
hour,
remember
right?
that. I remember
so
that.
he I set it up, went back, recorded, and he showed me how to kind of like record. Like he's like, hey man, you don't have to try to record the whole thing. Like we do it in parts and shit. And what was cool about it, he later saw that I was trying to learn.
Yeah.
So he actually invited me back and started teaching me how to record.
Oh, okay.
And then at one point he actually bought me a computer and set it up to where I could record at home.
No shit.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people don't know. And then because of me, a lot of people were wondering where I was doing shit and how I was getting like my little like CDs pressed. And at one point I was doing it at home, but then I remember got when those like multiple CD burner things were coming out.
Yeah, because I had one.
Like he had like multiple ones.
Oh, he had multiple. Yeah, I had one.
Because remember, like he did bands
It
and
would
all
do like
stuff. So
50 or 100 at a
yeah,
time.
yeah. So he had a couple to where he was like pumping these
Yeah.
CDs out for these bands and whatnot. So through me, you know, I was telling everybody that we would do shows and stuff like, hey man, like at the studio, I can get your CD press up, whatever. And so it was bringing attention to his studio because
Yeah.
most people you would just see Gilly's recording studio and it didn't look like a rap studio.
Yeah,
you know?
no, yeah, for
So
sure.
it you know certain people you know were recording with him, but man, Gilly like showed me so much love. And
What happened to that dude?
The last time I asked about him, if I'm not mistaken, I think he sold the whole building because at one point he bought, I think, the whole shopping center where
Oh,
Gilly's
okay.
was.
Yeah.
And I think he lives in Dallas.
Oh, okay. Wasn't he doing like wireless shit too or something?
His wife had had the front part of the store, and they did like cell phones at one
Okay,
point
yeah,
and something else. But his whole thing was full blown recording. Like again,
Okay.
he had bands, country stuff, and then
That's
you know he was a
dope.
performer himself. And what was cool about it was that like later on too, I learned that he was related to Jerry Lee Lewis. He was related to
Okay.
Mickey Gilly, the one that owns Gilly's and the one that they use in Urban Cowboy.
Yeah.
Like they're all family. They all play the piano and shit like that.
Urban Cowboy.
Yeah,
That's
man.
a good
Like,
movie. Fuck with
but yeah, he had bought me a
Keep the
computer,
truck.
and he had bought me a computer, and then I started, you know, doing stuff at home, and yeah, man, it was kind of over that. I mean, I had the most craziest setup at my house, recording in the closet and shit. Like,
So
I mean-
I will say this. I remember. So what year was this? This is like what? Early 2000s.
when I was like recording,
When you were
like,
doing this?
Oh yeah. When I started rapping in the West Coast Junior High with my boy Reggie Dorsey, and we would just fuck around in the hallways. and
Dorsey,
just-
that's a
Reggie
that's a
Dorsey.
big family.
And I remember, I think it was like Christmas. I was just like, I just need a karaoke machine. And yeah, I got it. And then, man, I remember I used to hang the microphone off the fan.
Yeah.
So it just hung like that. And me and Reggie would go to my house after school and we would just like put on different fucking instrumentals and just rap and record. I still have the original tape of us like rapping.
So
and shit.
so like same shit with me. Me and my homeboy, we started with the karaoke machine.
Yeah.
So you would make the tapes,
Yeah.
and what would you just do? Use the instrumentals that you would buy CDs of instrumentals from the bomb or some shit.
No, or just
Or
like I
download
would
them?
just get them from like no, because at
LimeWire?
this point there was no downloading at that point. It was
This is pre
this is
LimeWire.
It was pre LimeWire.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
this is
Okay,
like
okay.
you know when Walmart had like the singles and shit, and on the back it had like the instrumental.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I would like ask to buy those or whatever, and then I would just record it from one thing to the other to get on tape.
Shit.
And
Y'all
then,
don't know about this shit.
And then we would draw the covers. Like when we did this one tape, like we actually
draw the covers.
Yeah, we drew the covers.
Damn,
it was
y'all don't
crazy.
know about this hustle, bro.
Yeah,
this is crazy. That's crazy. Draw the covers, dog. I wasn't even thinking that shit.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Because in my mind, this is at that point in my mind, the only thing I ever thought of was like, okay, the only way people are gonna take me serious if the shit looks legit, some way, somehow.
And I will be dead ass honest, because I think the first time I came to know Mista Playboy and who Mista Playboy was during MySpace days. And I remember, I don't know if you remember this, but MySpace used to have like these rankings, right? And so I would check the rankings, and then I would be like, oh, fuck, this person's, so that's how I came to know about who was who, you know what I mean? Because basically, back then, I was highly competitive, so it's like, man, I'm a nobody.
Oh, we know.
I'm a nobody. We know.
Hopefully we into that story too.
I'm a nobody at this time, right? I'm trying to like, man, I don't even know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. And I remember I seen Playboy shit, and I'm like, man, this nigga already has graphics. And, I mean, don't get me wrong. It was back then. It was
It wasn't the
it was simple graphics.
I mean, back then
it was enough, nigga. That's all you needed was a graphic with your motherfucking information on it. You was ahead of the game. And so I was like, damn, this motherfucker.
Everybody wanted to be in my top 10.
This motherfucker already got his CDs pressed and got his logo. Damn, what I got to do that shit?
Yeah.
So I remember that. So one of the things is this dude's always been ahead of the curve when it came to branding himself. And early on, that was one of the things that made him stand out was branding. He early on understood branding, and that's one of the things that has always set Mista Playboy apart from everyone else. Is he was able just to take whatever he needed to take and brand himself.
Well, I wanted to look like my favorite rappers. That's what it was. Like,
yeah.
I mean, literally, that's
some
what it
people
was.
don't even know how to fucking, you know what I mean? Some people.
Well, that's honestly.
I don't want to get into that.
That's how. That's how I learned somewhat of like coding. So I would take the MySpace code.
Yeah, dog. Because in MySpace we was coding low key. Bro.
People don't understand that it was coding.
It was coding.
I would
dog.
take that. And I would read that code. I didn't know what the fuck. To me, it looked like Egyptian writing until I figured out, if you change these numbers, it changes the colors. And this little URL, if I just put that in the URL by itself, it shows me what pictures there. So then I would like figure out, okay, save it.
Remember
as a
Photo
JPEG,
Bucket?
blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Photo Bucket, all this shit, and put it on there. So and that's how I learned Photoshop, because I would take my picture, or I'd have my late best friend Mark take my picture, and then I would throw my picture in Photoshop, and then I would take the CDs I bought, and I would try to mimic what I saw as a cover.
Yeah,
that's how I learned. But it was my geometry teacher that showed me what Photoshop was.
Damn, that's tight. Because I remember early on, I was like, man, like niggas like you, Shy One.
It was only me and Shy One. From what I remember, it was only me and Shy One that were really like. Shy One was always in his own lane. Like, so I would never really say that he was in the rapper lane. He was always in his own thing.
He would, and that's what you reminded me of, because you basically did your own thing, and so did Shy One. It was like y'all took care of your own shit while everybody else was like, "Fuck, how they do that? Who do I call? Who does graphics?" Like,
well, I mean, Shy had Sir Tones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, shout out Sir Tones.
I know they were
dude,
like best friends. Yeah, that's my homie.
And then
I don't know who else he had, but I know Sir Tones has always. They're like,
well, they were doing what was that shit? Wasn't YTG over there? YTG, do you remember YTG? It was.
I know. I remember.
It was
name.
Willie.
Yeah.
It was Willie and Jay Styles and Larry Pruitt, I think. And
so
I think that they were over. I could be wrong, bro, but I think but I know Willie started over there with Shy One. I know that for sure. Yeah. And a couple other people. But
he always like, so me and him, it was funny because like sometimes we would talk to, I mean, like, I don't know if it was through MySpace or something, but we've always been cool. I've always respected Shy One as well. Yeah. He's done a lot of great things, you know what I'm saying, that a lot of people don't even know about, you know what I mean?
Bro.
But Yeah, I mean it's just I just learned it from. I learned what Photoshop was because I didn't even know how it was even.
So are you
made.
like that with everything? Are you an autodidact? Like, are you an autodidact? Is someone that teaches themselves everything? Are you like one of those people?
Pretty much. Like I don't try to. I could really catch on to something. Like if I see something, I could really kind of like. I kind of learn the fundamentals of it, and then I can start like just breaking it down to work. But now, man,
because I'm like that, bro. I teach myself. Everything.
No,
like
I've always been like that. I get that from my pops, though. Like, you know, my thing is always trying to make something out of nothing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Sure.
And it's, I don't know. I mean, when I got into everything else with me, I mean, the only reason why I did or started graphic design and everything else is because I didn't have money to. I didn't even have the means. I think I went to penandpixel.com one day. And I was like, God damn, they charge $1,500 just to put a text over your cover.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
sure. Back then, graphics was crazy.
Yeah, but only was because I was like a big No Limit fan. And I felt like that's what I want my shit to look like. Like, I needed to look like that so people could take me serious.
Yeah, who did it?
Yeah, so, I mean, that was the goal, right? That was everybody's goal. So, you know, when I got a computer... And then I found out what Photoshop was. And then, you know, I didn't have money to pay for it. So I fucking, you know, pirated it off LimeWire. Yeah. It was Photoshop 7.0. And then that's when I just started learning my shit. But I never told anybody I did it. I didn't never teach myself to do it for other people or try to make money off of it. It was solely because I didn't have money for none of that stuff. My parents never, like, you know, funded it to where like, oh, just go do this with that. You know, it was nothing like that. Like, yeah, my parents.
Did your people support you, or they were just kind of? Because like me, my people didn't support a fucking thing when it came to music. They didn't want to hear that shit.
No, do you know what? My mom and my dad have always been supportive. Like my mom used to take me every Tuesday to go buy my CDs. Like whatever I felt like I needed, she would buy me every CD. That's why I have all of them still. Like all my No Limits, all, like the originals. I have all that shit because
you had them all in 5th grade.
Yeah, I had them all in 5th grade, bro. Yeah.
Not even by 8th grade, 7th grade.
So you were the CD case guy?
Yeah, I had.
My homeboy D. I have a homeboy D. He was the CD case guy, bro.
Yeah.
CD case.
But I'll tell you one thing.
Still has them.
I'll tell you one thing I was so jealous about. My homie Thomas Sullivan, when he brought to school the I'm Bout It videotape, I was like, this motherfucker got it before me, bro. And then what was cool was that he was letting everybody borrow it, like the ones that was cool with him. You know what I mean? So I remember when I took it home and I finally got to see it, I was like, damn, this is tight. But like, it was you know, my parents have always been supportive to a certain point. Like, you know, it was always like, you know, make sure to get a job and do this and do that. But you know, but my mom and my dad, like sometimes they'd go to Walmart and they come back and they would bring the little the CD sticker things that you'd print on it. Like my mom would buy me a pack of that, or my dad would buy me a pack, and he'd be like, "Here you go."
That's good, dog.
Because they saw me selling CDs at school, the Stomper thing. Yeah, I remember but they saw me selling CDs at school. So they were just like, oh shit, you know, and I would sell my CDs for like $1 or $2, some shit like that. You know, and those that went to school with me, like they would just support me, be like, oh, I'll buy it or whatever. Yeah. But I would always tell people, you're not gonna make me mad, you're not gonna hurt my feelings. Just tell me if you like it or not. Tell me if it's dope. And I never really had like a negative thing. Like, honestly, I was like trying to be in every talent show. I played football in junior high, but I didn't like, I liked it because I played with my friends, but at the same time, that wasn't something that I was trying to go for. You know what I mean? So once that was over in junior high and I got into high school, my mind was just that I'm going to do music. I didn't give a fuck about nothing else. You know what I mean? So I just kept
I wish I did that, dog. I didn't get to do music in high school.
Let me tell you, this is what a lot of people don't know. I sacrificed my summers, my spring breaks, any little time that other people, like my peers, would go to the spring break, like all the shit that y'all used to talk about, like spring break.
I did a bunch of that shit, bro.
I can't tell y'all none of that shit. And the reason for it, because I kept myself at home recording and writing constantly and all this shit because I didn't give a fuck about it. In my mind, it was like, I ain't gonna make no money off that. Yeah. That was just my mindset. So I just would keep recording. And then, you know, when people around the neighborhood found out that, like, I had a studio at my house, then, you know, people wanted to come over and record and do all this shit. So I was literally...
So What age did you start recording? Like 15?
Yeah, 15, 16.
Shit,
Yeah, 15,
that's
16
what's
years
up.
old. Yeah.
It had to be before that. I remember
Really?
one day leaving fucking.
But that's what I told him about the karaoke machine.
Yeah, like
but see, I had like my brother had bought me. My brother, I remember one day he saw like how hard I was going. Right,
Yeah.
my brother Julian, and this is my third brother because 4 of us all together. And I remember what you remember the like musician friends and all those magazines.
Yeah.
I remember he came in one night. I was on in my room, and I had this little computer mic, this little skinny ass computer mic. And I remember my mom had this like broom thing that you would clean the fan blades with.
Yeah.
And I broke it off and I carved this little line in it to where I could stick that microphone in it and draw the line all the way down. Like you know, Byron, Big B, like he'll tell you all this setup because
Shout out Big B.
Yeah, he was there the whole time.
Shout out my boy Lee One, he's watching. AKA Noel Sosa, he's watching.
Yeah, like he would tell you, like, so I had it rigged up in my closet and stuff. And I remember my brother came in and he gave me the magazine. He's all, tell me what you need and I'm gonna get it for you. Because my brother was working like at KFC
Bro,
or some shit.
that
you know what I
magazine
mean?
he's talking about, bro.
Yeah.
Back then we used to look at that whole like it was
Like a dream
like
team.
East Bay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was East Bay.
Yes.
Oh, these are tight. This is tight.
Yeah. So that's my brother came. He was like, "Tell me what you need, or whatever." And I remember I picked out this little set thing, and it had like a 4-track, a microphone, and 2 little speakers. And to me, that was like if I was recording on an
Get
SSL,
busy, dude.
on an
We was on a
SSL
karaoke
drive. You know what I mean? So
get busy with that.
I learned that, and then that's when I like got into the Gilly shit, and he bought me a computer that was filled up with
That's
everything,
lying.
and I made the transition. But after that, it was just rocking and rolling, bro. To where I was like, I just felt like the man. I was fucking recording a song like every day, all day, off instrumentals. Whether it was just me fucking with acid music, making like these little beats here and there, whatever. But it was just not knowing that what I was doing, I was teaching myself how to really do this shit. You know what I mean? Because then I slowly started, as I got older, being able to like record other people and shit like that.
So what? That's what I was gonna ask you. So what? Well, not what.
Mm-hmm.
Who were some of your first like clients? Like as far as like maybe graphics or when you first started recording other people. Like who was some of your first clients?
The first person to ever pay me was Andy.
Andy. Okay.
He
Yeah.
was the first person, and
R.I.P.
yeah.
Rest in peace, Andy.
Yeah, I miss him, man. I met him when I was 20 years old. I met him by accident.
Okay.
I always say that. I met him by accident. I was at Tone's house.
Okay. Tone. Yeah. Shout out Tone.
The way I met Tone was because when Craigslist was popping,
Crazy. Okay.
Tone had this Craigslist post where he was looking for people to be a part of like a compilation that he was putting together. And I reached out to him and I said, "Hey, I'm a rapper. I'm down to do it." So he was like, "All right, cool." So I remember going to Tone's house. We're sitting in his apartment and we're like by the computer, how he had it set up and shit. And
Was this on Carol Lane?
Yeah. It was on
Okay.
Carol
So
Lane.
this is
And-
like
yeah.
5, 6.
Yeah,
or something?
because I had my son. I had my son when I was 20. My son was probably like a couple months old because I actually stayed in these apartments right here on Alameda by Driscoll, whatever they're called, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I went over. I drove around the corner, went to his house, and I remember that night Andy walked in, and Andy had just finished Dukes' CD.
Oh, yeah. Shout out Dukes.
Metamorphosis. And he walked upstairs. I think Tone was like mixing the song for him, or he was doing something. So I think he was there to pay Tone or some shit like that. And he goes, "Yeah, man, I got this dude, and all I need is graphic." And I think because I had told Tone I did shit like that, so Tone was like, "Oh man, this dude right here does graphics, whatever." And he was like, "Oh, for real?" And I was like, "Yeah, But I told him straight up, I don't really do it for nobody. I just do it for myself, So we traded numbers, and then Andy literally texted me the next day, asked me how much I was gonna charge him. I think I charged him $300. You know what I mean? Mind you, I'm working at Dillard's selling men's shoes. You know what I mean? Like I was always working like just in and out jobs or whatever, and so he was like, "All right, cool," like without like no hesitation. "All right, cool, $300, shit, that's what's up." So. He paid me. I took the pictures, put it all together. And what's funny is that from that day on, me and Andy had stayed friends. Like every day, like literally friends that like if we had known each other for years. and we were friends every day, man. And yeah, we did a lot of crazy shit together. But that's who the first person that actually paid me money to do
Crazy.
shit was
That's
Andy.
tight.
Yeah, yeah. And then, but around that time too, like when I was doing like all these different shows and the shows back then or whatever, all the people that I would meet backstage, whether it was like Chingo Bling or this person, that person, I never went up to him like a fucking peon where I was like, oh man, I'm a rapper, bro, and you need to listen to me rap. I never came after like that. I always would tell him, hey man, I'm such and such. I'm from here in Corpus. If the show was here in Corpus, and I always tell them, hey, I do this, and that. If you guys would ever need something, man, give me a chance to show you.
Yeah,
you know what
for
I'm saying?
sure.
And that's how I made my relationships with a lot of these people, was offering these things, because I knew back then anybody can rap. Doesn't mean you're good or bad or whatever, but anybody could just, go on stage and perform. But my thing was like, if I have something that I know 50 other people in the room actually need,
Yeah.
who do you think they're going to come to?
That's called placing value upon yourself.
Exactly. So my thing was like, okay, now I'm the important guy in the room to a certain extent.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
So because again, I was just a fucking little fish in a fucking with sharks. You know what I'm saying? My thing was like, let me just try to get in the mix of shit or whatever. But I guess it worked to a certain extent.
So, I mean, personally, does it seem like, well, no, let's not say personally. Business-wise, does it seem like that the graphics and the media worked out in a better venture for you than the music, or could you not have done one without the other, do you think?
I don't think I wouldn't have gotten to where I'm at now if it wasn't for music.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I'll never stop making music.
Yeah.
I don't care whether, like, before when I started, it was trying to get a record deal.
Yeah, it was always the big record deal, right?
Like,
I think the record deal poisoned us, bro.
Yeah, it was like trying to get a record deal, whatever. But now my mind is like, I'm older now. I understand. I understand.
You
where
understand,
everything. I understand where things are right now.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about a record deal no more. Nobody
Let me
cares about that.
Say that
shit,
again for the people in the back.
A record deal.
Nobody cares about a record deal.
The best thing to do is get you a loan from a bank.
Yes.
Use that to put it towards your music. If you could pay it back and just keep on doing it. I think Russ said the same thing. You know
I
what
tell
mean?
people that all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, save your money, your money. Then you could borrow against your money and spend, your 10, 15 racks on marketing and promoting whatever it is that you're trying to promote, and go that route and see where it takes you. But this record deal shit, that shit is for the
But back
birds,
then,
bro.
that's what it was.
Yeah, but back then it was different. It was a different ball game.
You were trying to get a record deal and all that stuff, and that's what my mom was at. But, I always came across certain things, which a lot of people don't know this. There was always a lot of things that, this person wants to do this or whatever. But to me, it was always a pipe dream. It was always like something that I could only see so far away. It wasn't close to me, right? So I never took it serious. But now as I'm older and I understand how everything is, just doing music in general is totally different. Like, it's really a bad popularity pissing contest,
bro. I think
I mean?
we actually, looking at it now, I'm honored, and I think we were actually lucky to be able to live in a time where music was celebrated for being, creative, and you taking the time to be creative, and you taking the time to be different, and records like, I'm wearing a Nas shirt right now, but records like Rewind from Nas, or One Mic from Nas, or like Dear Mama from Pac, or all of these fucking records that just stepped out of the box and decided to do something a little bit different. You know what I mean? And Biggie telling stories and shit like that. I just feel like it was a different time back then where people respected music a lot differently for the power that it held. And I think now it's just like, man, nobody gives it that power.
Everything is at everybody's fingertips. Nobody goes outside no more. Yeah. Nobody just talks to somebody else. Everything is like a chatty patty thing, and it's like, it affects everybody. Like even this AI shit, it affects everybody. Like,
bro, AI is crazy.
But it's good. It's good in a good way, but it's also bad in a different way. And the problem is that people that do marketing or advertising, whatever, they they're kind of to where they're not valued anymore because somebody doesn't want to pay that price of what it may cost to really help them, and they go to something like AI.
Yeah.
And what happens is that you go to Facebook and you'll see 10 companies that all look the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember one year, I think it was last year, 2 years ago, there was a lot of clubs in Corpus sharing the same flyer, but it had different information in it because they were using a phone app. And to me, that's bad.
Yeah, I see
That's
that
bad
now.
as it look,
Everybody
you know what I
that
mean?
uses Chat GPT for
Yeah.
flyers, they have that same font, that same orange and
Yeah.
brown kind of look.
Yeah.
That, you know what I mean? I could always tell straight off.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I mean, it's
that's
cool,
a Chat GPT flyer.
But I
yeah,
go,
it's cool.
But
and
like I
all.
always tell people, like I'm not hating on it. What I'm trying to explain to people is that there's only a certain time that you could be a cookie cutter. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because if everything just, again, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. When everything just looks the same, what's gonna happen is that one person is gonna come around the corner looking so different,
Yeah.
and it's not because they have more money or their thing is better, whatever. It's just because they look different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like why everybody has the same pair of Jordans on and somebody came around the corner with whatever, it's like, oh shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's just how it works, man. And it's stuff like that. It's become to where like I honestly I can't even really tell you the last time I did like an actual rap cover for somebody.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I'm gonna be
so
honest
what have you been working on lately?
My
Like what
own
is
shit.
the shit that you your own shit?
Yeah, my own shit.
Okay, that's good.
Well, one, because people don't want to pay no more.
Yeah.
Two,
People don't want to pay for covers? What?
yeah, there's a lot of people that don't
That's
wanna-
crazy because
AI shit.
between me and you, I'm gonna be real with you. You're one of the only people that I'm gonna pay for some media. Like,
I think it's just because they don't take that part of the game serious. But this is the other
That's
thing
crazy.
too. I can't blame people that are only doing shit to try to be a part of the cool group, if that makes sense to you.
yeah,
See, I've always been a part of the cool, right? Like I've been cool with everybody, so I've never felt like I've never been a part of this or that. But the thing is that I learned at a very young age, and even with my brothers telling me, like, you know, you get into something like that, you have to look a certain way, you have to act a certain way. You have to, you have to, have your CDs pressed like this and look like this. So my mind, I know how the whole machine works.
Yeah.
Compared to somebody that, I just want to put a song out because their mom told them it sounds good and they could just pay $20 to throw it on the internet. Like they don't care about getting the cover done.
Yeah.
Like for me, like I'm not gonna sit here and convince somebody or even try to convince somebody that they need to do this and that. Like I'm at a point where I don't even care, bro. Like you know what I mean? Like I have so many people that write me. I wouldn't say like on a daily basis, but every couple of days, wanting me to do this and that. And now I'm at a point where I don't have to do it if I don't want to.
Yeah, that's crazy because now what you're saying is basically you have become a big asset to yourself as an entrepreneur.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because you have established, grounds in the marketing community. Period. I don't want to just say graphics or marketing community. Period. Where you're able to kind of hold that kind of weight.
Well, I'm not a person to cheat anybody either. You know what's so crazy? Like when I started doing stuff for people like Chingo Bling and all these other like Paul Wall and all this stuff.
Club God.
Yeah, like but this was before,
Yeah,
before
I get
even
you.
that. People would always tell me like, "Oh man, I hope you charge them a lot. I hope you charge them a lot." You know
But
what I mean?
that's that, bro.
But you see that mentality.
That
in
mentality, bro.
You see
that
Like, if-
mentality is I gotta hit a quick lick.
Yeah, because you know what's
not let's play the long ball game.
Exactly.
I gotta hit a quick lick.
Yeah,
And that's the difference between motherfuckers like us
Yeah.
and motherfuckers like y'all. Because y'all are gonna run it up quick as fast as you can and fuck it off. And we're gonna get a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time.
That's the way I've
I've always played the game like that.
my
bro.
thing was like I'd rather be friends with people rather than just making it look like I'm just taking advantage because they had a name.
bro.
You know what I'm saying?
super picky like that, especially in the music industry. I do not. One thing about me, I don't buy features. I don't do that. I'm not gonna go.
You don't buy another local's feature.
No, I'll pay money for features. Don't get me wrong.
There
but
ain't nobody in
I'm not
Corpus that
gonna
needs to
say,
charge anybody for a fucking feature.
Let
my
me
guy.
go and run
Fuck all
and
that.
get this dude, because he's hot right now, let me go get that feature. I don't knock anybody that does that. Do not knock you. I know the game. I know the hustle. I know the way it works. I'm just saying, personally, I don't pay for those specific type of features.
Can I ask you a question?
I pay for features from artists that I like.
Can I ask you a question?
Ask me whatever you want to ask me.
Do you feel that people should, in Corpus, we're just talking about Corpus, do you feel there are certain people that should even have that in their bio, saying don't ever reach out to them unless they have money for a feature? Can you honestly say that?
Well, you're asking somebody who is a 100% fledged businessman. I don't have a problem paying you money. Ask anybody that has worked with me. I pay you money.
No.
You know
that wasn't the question, though. You were going around the question.
No, I'm not. Say it again.
No, he's going to run around.
Say it again. Say it again.
Yeah, I said,
let me hear the question.
do you feel that people in Corpus
Are deserving?
are deserving to
Oh,
try?
no. I mean, not everybody's deserving.
Okay,
no.
but think about it like this. There's certain people that I see, and they'll put themselves like on a pedestal, right? Which is nothing wrong with that. But I look at it like, if you've never really done anything or whatever,
Yeah, for sure.
it should be more about networking with somebody.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
get what I'm saying?
And this is the way that I do it. If I can't Google your fucking artist name and you pop up immediately, I'm sorry, motherfucker, but don't talk to me about a fee. Because you could Google my fat ass and I'm going to come up all 100 ugly pictures of me and videos. So if I want to charge you a funky ass $250 so I could give my man Mollywop $75 and I could go home with $150 because $50 of that is to pay for the actual hour and a half it took me to write my verse, and the other 100 is for my pain and suffering.
You don't give people the same verse?
Then y'all motherfuckers can, you know
That's
what I'm
how
saying?
you know you made it. You
So-
give people the same verse.
No, I do not do that shit. Shout out Gabe Salinas. So let me ask you, what is your, when you first started, am I wrong, or did you do a lot of work with Gabe Salinas?
Oh yeah, like on my first album,
Yeah,
like
Hellbound.
yeah, like we were.
You did a lot of
me and
Hellbound,
Gabe,
right?
we're doing a lot.
And
of
I
stuff.
think I first heard of Hellbound because of you, and man, I can't think who else, what other artists that he worked with a lot.
He had Life over there.
Life. Okay, there you go. You and Life. I remember you and Life were the ones that I heard Hellbound from. But,
Life.
Shout out to my guy Life. He's actually, Life is gonna be on my next episode.
Yeah,
He's actually was supposed to be last week, but we had some difficulties.
Yeah, you had Life. You had Droopy M. You had all those guys.
I just saw
Gabe.
Droop too.
Yeah, and I linked up with Gabe, and then like I would go to his apartment, we would record, and then like when I made like my first actual CD, Gabe has like a couple songs that he produced.
Gabe's been around for a long time. Man, I can't remember but Gabe's been around for a long time. Shout out Gabe Salinas, my Hellbound Beats. He's been around for a long time. Been doing been played in the background. A lot of
his sample game was
yeah,
good to me
for sure.
Yeah, his sample game and like his 3-6 Mafia type of vibe and stuff was always cool.
Yeah.
Some of it, I'll be honest, I couldn't get with it because it was too like
slow. Yeah,
for me.
No,
anyway,
I'll give him that.
I mean?
You know, Hellbound.
Yeah,
He has a slower influenced type
but
of style.
The songs that we did do at that time, oh yeah, they were
Gentleman
dope,
G. When I first started out with Gentleman G, he had a heavy Memphis 3-6 Mafia influenced style. So it was kind of, some of the beats for me were kind of hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes they were too slow, and then but you know we made it work.
But even back then too, like I mean, some of those songs that I used to record, like I remember going back and listening to them, and I was like, what the fuck was I doing? Like, why did I sound like that? But at the same time, too, I was listening to all these different artists and trying to find myself in sound.
Yeah.
You know? But
did you ever do any like records specifically in mind for the radio, like when 102.9 The Bomb, like at least one was watching earlier?
No,
so.
the honestly, the only time I actually came out on the radio, like on a song, was because K Glock put me on his remix.
I remember that dude.
Yeah,
from MySpace.
Yeah, K Glock put me on his
MySpace.
yeah.
Man, if y'all weren't in the MySpace days, y'all motherfuckers just don't even know. Y'all missed.
It seems like like there was like a whole. There was like okay, the Corpus MySpace, but then there's a Corpus MySpace rap community.
Yeah.
Like, it seemed like there's like a whole.
MySpace music was its own thing because it would list your plays and niggas was like, you can't deny numbers. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Broke as shit,
know,
but my numbers were high.
But the numbers was up.
I was broke as shit, but the numbers are high though.
Yeah, like
but
I remember.
You know the cool thing about that was like with Glock, like his brother was Lamont of Way Out Entertainment with MC West and
with
all
MC
them,
West.
whatever. Yeah, but K Glock, you know, they were from I want to say L.A. I think or something like that.
Yeah, he was from L.A. Yeah,
but was it the song? I can't remember the song that he had, but it was.
I know what you're talking about.
But it was a popular song.
Blowing. It was about smoking.
Yeah. It was like a popular song,
Yeah.
and I remember he hit me up and he was like, "Hey man, I want you on this remix," and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, you know what I mean?
We's about to get
We's about to get fucked up.
Or We's about to get fucked.
Yeah. So we went
to. What happened to that dude? I know he wasn't from here.
He's still around.
Oh, okay,
I have him on Facebook and stuff. But yeah, he like I got on the radio. I want to say like the very first time because I was on that song, but I think Dap was on there. There was a couple.
Dap.
Yeah, he put me on the remix.
Shit.
I have it somewhere. Like
reaching out. That's
yeah. And he put me on there, and I remember they played it, and I just felt like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? Because again, he was like in the circle, right? He had his shit going. Yeah. So for him to even like reach out to me and say, "Hey man, I respect you, yada yada yada. I want you on the."
But he was kicking up dust over there in Molina, right?
Honestly,
I thought he.
I don't
okay.
remember.
For some reason, I thought he was hanging out in Molina.
I don't even remember.
Okay, I'm tripping.
I mean, the only other group besides me
Wood Boys.
was no, the Wired Up Click.
Oh yeah. Shout out
you gotta
Popeye.
remember, Wood Boys are from Greenwood.
Oh, okay.
So,
swear to God, I didn't know so it's over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like once you cross once you go into Greenwood, we don't consider that.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
No,
I get it. Yeah, I know.
That, right?
So that's Blackjack. Wasn't not Huckberry. What's the name of it? But yeah, on the other side of Greenwood, on the side where the dollar store is.
All that. Well, now I wouldn't say just on the other side of the dollar store. It's like, what is it? Like Madrid and all them streets and stuff.
Hemlock and Blackjack.
Like once you cross like the ditch on that side, like by Sam's Club,
got you.
like so that's not considered us. So the only other group was Wired Up Click, and
that was Popeye.
That was Popeye, K9,
shout out Popeye.
Bo, and you know what's funny was like I remember I think I had even like man I need to get down with them whatever some shit or whatever, and and Bo was the one that like was real encouraging, was like, hey man, like, man, you on your shit. Yeah. Like at a very young age, like, you know, so he was like, man, keep doing your shit. And then honestly, I was the first person to shoot a real music video in Molina. Like I was, you know what I mean? And I remember when that video came out, like nobody even knew.
Yeah, because I don't think Wired Up Click shot it.
No, they didn't. They didn't. I think at one point they were going to sign like a record deal with somebody out of Houston.
I remember that. Yeah.
I don't know what happened with that, but because again, they were all older than me. But yeah, when it came to certain things, like I'll have to say, like I'm the first one to do it. You know what I mean? No. But again, they were ahead of me. I remember like, you know, people playing the CD and stuff like that. But I do remember that at one point they were going to sign a record deal, and you know whatever would happen out of that. I think it would have been something good. But yeah, man, it's just been that the whole time.
That's crazy. So what was one of the other things I was going to say? Oh, so earlier we had mentioned that you got. You've been heavy into the graphics and stuff, and you were had the privilege of working with one of artists that I personally like, Club God. Mm-hmm. How was that? How did that come about? You working with him and
so for people that don't know, I always kept everything separate. Unless you're just like on my personal Facebook, but I have like just a page just dedicated to my artwork, right?
That's Mr. Design.
Yeah, Mr. Design. So I never wanted like things to be confused. Like, and like, because I tell everybody first, like first I'm a rapper. Everything else comes after that shit.
And I'm gonna
right?
be real with you, bro. That's like one of the things that I like about you is that you, like I said, you know you're good with branding, so you're able to brand yourself as one thing,
Yeah.
brand yourself as another, and brand yourself as another, and clearly define the difference and run with the own separate marketing that goes with each part
And
of the brand.
it's all Mr. It's Mr. Playboy the rapper, Mr. Design the designer, Mr. Vision the person that shoots the video shit, and it goes after that, right? And but the way I met Club God was how did I? So when all that meme shit was popping off, where I was just bullshitting on the internet or whatever. So when I did all that,
Some of your shit was going hella viral, right?
Oh yeah, I mean.
A few of them.
When I literally saw 50 Cent go into my comments and just start laughing on the shit that I was doing of Diddy back then, like, you know, I was like, holy shit.
This was heavy during COVID, right? Like, before COVID, right?
Way before COVID. It was like 2018, 2017 type shit. And the only reason why I was doing a lot of that meme shit was because one day we were at I forgot where we were at, but my nephew was with me, and my nephew was like, "Oh man, you should make something like this, but make it look real, like how you do it." And I'm like, "All right, whatever." And because we would always just laugh at shit like that was viral, right? And I would always say like, "Oh, I can make it look way better than that,
exactly."
Right? So he's like, "Oh, you should do it like this, whatever." And then I forgot what I did, and I uploaded it on my Instagram like at 4 a.m. before I went to bed, and then I woke up and my phone was just blowing up. And I was just like, what the fuck? And I went to go check, and it was just like all this fucking messages, like people laughing, sharing it. And then I was like, holy shit. And then that's when people were messaging me and was like, hey man, how much you charge for artwork? And da-da-da. And then I was like, oh yeah, here we go now. So then, I mean, dude, at one point, I was designing people's shit people like that were probably like a star in their town. You know what I mean? Like I remember dudes was like, yeah, man, check out my music. They would always like, check out my music, bro. And like, you know, I'm hot in my city. I'm like, yeah, you know, this is how much it is.
Fullerton, New Jersey.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about just, I remember this one dude hit me up and was like, I want my cover to like have crack rocks in it, man, with a fork, and I want to be on it, like leaning, and I'm just like, all right, bro. And then, I mean, I put it together, but I get the most random shit. I think where I got kind of fried out of it is when at a certain point, every cover had something to do with promethazine, and I had to I'm not doing that right now, and you know what I mean. And
I would
then
get burnt out too, bro.
Yeah, so all that meme shit brought a lot of attention. And then again, I would just kind of like throw it out here and there. I mean, really, because I was cracking jokes.
So is that like best to do, like, let's say, like at a viral moment? Like, let's say, like if you would have came up with a meme, like right when Jake Paul got knocked out or something, like.
I mean,
it just has to be good.
Right now, I mean, everybody expects that shit from people. You know what I mean? The only difference, the way I look at it, is like you got to be really good at it. My thing is like I'm just naturally funny. So I know how to make shit.
You're naturally an asshole.
No, I'm really not. You know, everybody thinks I'm a dick until they meet me and they're just like, "Oh man, you're actually pretty cool." And I'm like, you know,
I don't know. I just feel like
a bigger moment to try to capitalize on. Like I said, we did or didn't, but like Jake Paul getting knocked out or the 50 Cent and Marlon Wayans beef. Like if you hop on that real quick, or if you hop on Jake
I mean, you got it. I mean, the thing is, you got to like. You have to be on it. Meaning, you have to be like you have to be like TMZ, bro. Like the shit, you gotta have everything.
Yeah.
Like, see the difference with me. I'm always on shit. I'm always looking like the blogs and all this different. I'm always looking. I'm just like, God damn, this shit's fucked up. Da, da, da. But in my head, I'm thinking like, man, this might be the outcome, and then I would put it together. So then when that outcome was like headline, blah 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 blah, I would throw it up there and use the right hashtags and So to answer your question, because I know we got to track. So the way I met B King and all that was because I don't know if you guys remember when I was making all the rappers look like basketball players and Astro players and all that shit. Mm-hmm. So he wrote me one day, was like, so what are you gonna do one of me? And I was like, oh yeah, I got you. Like, you know what I mean? And so
that's bad.
I remember I did it on some player. And I mean, he was skinny as shit, but people forget like B King was disgusting Justin a long time ago. green hair, fucking just saying the most
wildest shit, bro.
And so we clicked. And the reason why I think we clicked was because this is gonna sound weird, but we were both Sagittarius and our birthdays were literally just a few days apart. When we actually like got on FaceTime and we were talking about certain shit or whatever, like we learned all this shit about each other, whatever. But you know who else like had reached out to me and like showed me a lot of love before he blew up? Toby. Yes,
who?
Him. Toby. What is it?
Yeah, Toby. He comes out on that fucking Netflix show with Mo. Right, he comes out on that show, Mo.
I think so. Yeah. He used to do the freestyle videos where he was sitting on the bottom of the couch, and his wife was doing. Yeah.
I don't know much.
He just has to deal with Reeboks, where like it's like all mint green and whatever.
Yeah.
He wrote me one day.
He passed away?
No. He showed me love.
Okay,
He wrote me and showed me love and was like, "Hey man, like whatever you're doing, like keep on doing." Him.
I know who you're talking about, but I don't know his face. I know who you're talking about.
He jumped in my shit and like he showed me a lot of love and like was just like, "Hey man, whatever you doing, just keep doing." I was like, "All right, man, thanks, whatever." But that's how I met. You know,
that's live.
B King was like, you know, I did that little funny shit and then like he wrote me and was like, "Hey man, like call me or whatever." I think that's what he said. Call me, whatever. So we got on FaceTime and we were talking. He was like, "Hey man, I need this, and this done. You think you can do it for me?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll do it for you." And again, like I was doing a lot of like not just local shit, but just random people's stuff. So he was like one of the ones that were like, I guess, famous in his own right. Like, you know what I mean?
I liked him, bro. I
really cool.
I actually jumped in his inbox early because I had a specific beat, and he gave me a player ass price, and I was like, man, all right, I'm gonna get a Club God verse. And then I never took advantage of it, and then a year later he passed away, bro.
Yeah.
And
that was a shot. But I did.
Suck,
there was one.
You know
thing.
what, bro? I'm gonna be real with you. I admire Homeboy because he was different, but I also admired him because he was a daddy. You know, and on this show, bro, we fucking praise our daddies, bro. We all about
parenting, this thing.
I follow Club God Parenting, and that's kind of like what drew me into him even more because I was like, damn, Homeboy, he be doing all this shit, and he was a good marketer, bro. He was a solid fucking. He was good at branding, bro.
You know, one thing with me and him, not to cut you off, but one thing with me and him, one day we had a talk, and I was like, we were talking about different stuff, whatever, like besides our work, whatever, because we would really have like conversation shit, and I would always ask him for advice because, you know, he's somebody that, even though we were like just a couple months apart, like, you know, he's in the mix, right?
He's in the mix,
yeah,
bro.
He's in the
Hell
mix.
yeah.
So I remember I was like, man, dog, I don't know what it is. I don't know if I just need like one of you big dogs to like co-sign me or something. So motherfucker knows what's up. And literally this is what he told me. He goes, man, fuck all that co-sign shit. He's all, you in your own city. That's your city. You got your own clothing line. You got this, bro. You in your own, fuck a cosign.
Yeah, fuck a cosign.
Like, bro. You know what I mean? Like, and I was just like, oh shit. Like, that was some real shit. Yeah. And then like, I don't know. It was just weird that when he told me all that, I understood what he was saying because to him it was like, bro, you know how many people in Houston didn't even fuck with me, didn't even want to rap on my beat. Yeah. And then he told me I had to go to Atlanta to get love back in the city.
Yeah, for sure.
So it was just like I took that to heart because, you know, a lot of times I know because people know me and, you know, whether they went to school with me or they know me because of this or that person or whatever, or we just kicked it or whatever. There's a lot of time people don't take you serious because they just see you every day. You know what I'm saying? So they're just like, oh man, that's just Playboy. You know what I mean? But
what they don't understand is that you can get that type of same action cracking in another city, and that's when it separates the big dogs from the.
Well, that's why I always try to like keep myself like out of town and network with people in a different city and things like that. But you know, I'll always forever be grateful for what I did with B King, the stuff that we worked on together because. I would have never thought in a million years that I'd receive a gold record with my name on it.
Yeah,
just
bro.
Because and
you got that on your wall?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what's funny about that? I have that next to a fake plaque that I made of my own CD when I was like 20 years old, bro.
We're gonna take it. We're gonna take it.
Yeah. But it's funny to just have that, you know, to see that, you know, on my wall with my name on it. And, you know. hopefully, the song becomes platinum soon, and I could receive that one and put it right next to it. But yeah, but it was it was crazy because when you talk about different aliases and all this stuff, it was so funny to meet so many different people at his memorial.
Yeah.
And for them to know me, but they didn't know me.
Yeah.
Like they didn't know what I looked like. They just knew my name.
Yeah.
So like Pimp C's wife, I think Corey Moe, like all these different people.
Shout
When
out
I was
Corey
just
Moe.
like introducing myself to him, and then I was just like, "Oh, this is who I am." Like, "Oh yeah, I follow you and
live.
shit."
That's
Like,
live.
yeah, it's crazy, man. So
That's
it's just
live.
it's just weird, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's
Like,
fucking live, dog. I'm gonna be real. That's fucking live to be able to experience that. Because I don't know. That's just,
I've been in a lot. I've honestly
So-
been in a lot of different rooms. It's crazy.
you were talking about going out of town. So you went up to New York. And you had the opportunity to go spit some bars. For
And I know I didn't pay for it. So that's what everybody thinks. That's
so-
what everybody thinks. A lot of people said that when I was coming back. That's what I was hearing. That people thought I paid for that.
But let me say something. Even if you, I didn't hear that. But even if you did, so motherfucking what? You motherfuckers ain't putting up no money for you motherfuckers barely putting up some money for a new car. You motherfuckers barely putting up some money for some motherfucking, some new shoes. Stop that bullshit. Y'all waiting in line for the Gammas. Even if my guy paid to go up there, who gives a fuck? You were still watching. These motherfuckers is crazy.
That was a bittersweet
so
moment.
okay. So for the people who don't know what I'm talking about, explain what I'm talking about. So
When I was featured on Hot 97 in New York, one of the biggest radio stations that you could be in the world.
yes,
As a hip hop head, like, that's
Yes.
what you want to be on.
that's what you want to be.
yeah. And I made it on there.
I seen some other guys from South Texas go up there and
No, it wasn't that. It
You
was
know,
Sway.
oh, that was yeah, and fucking Vatos Juana Vato. We won't talk about that, but yeah, my guy went up there. He represented very well.
Yeah.
Held it down for the city. There's who else? I mean, who else from the city's been up there? I don't know. Who else from South Texas? I mean, maybe one or two other people.
Yeah, but think about it like this. This is what people need to understand. I didn't pay to be up there. I didn't ride anybody's coattail.
Yeah.
I don't have no manager. I have no.
You don't got a
financial-
manager?
No, I have.
Oh,
no,
shit.
I have no financial backing. I'm not signed to no record label. There's nobody. I went up
Self-made.
there off the wheel of my own hustle. That's what
Yes, sir.
people don't understand. I talked to Funk Flex on the phone,
Oh shit.
and it was them wanting me to do something that in return to show appreciation for what I did, they put me on this segment that was for up and coming artists.
Yeah.
The other people that were waiting in the room, I guarantee you they paid to be on there. Right? And then from me being on there, the guy, Hip Hop Mike, was like, bro, you're dope. I'm having this thing in Austin, South by Southwest. I
Yeah.
want you on there.
That's live.
Boom. There you go.
That's called opportunistic.
Yeah.
You're using your network, utilizing your network, and creating opportunistic situations.
You know, so I turned, again, nothing into something.
yeah,
You know what I
that
mean?
was live.
Yeah.
hell
But I mean, again, it was a bittersweet thing. I mean, I would have never in a million years thought I'd even be sitting in that chair. I mean, I would watch freestyle videos.
How
and shit
nervous
on
were
there.
you, Vato? Did you take a shit before?
No, I honestly,
Don't be
I'm gonna be honest, man. I actually kind of cried in the Airbnb that I was in before I left over there. And the reason for it, people that know me know this, that my best friend that passed away when I was 23, we used to listen to like the XM radio and shit that he had in his car. And he would always listen to like those radio stations.
Yeah.
And he would always just make jokes like, oh man, I'd be dope if we went on there and shit like that or whatever. I mean, it sounds cliche, right? Because anybody can say that, but God is my witness that, oh man, it'd be tight to go up there. And just to actually make it on there, to actually have a physical
No, that's
picture
not
of
cliche,
me on
man.
there, and to walk into that building and go up that elevator, walk into that hallway, and like, and this is another thing people don't know. The way I found myself in New York was because a guy found me on Instagram. Because of all that 50 Cent shit.
Well, yeah. I mean, I would
what I mean?
think that, and that's why
Yeah.
I'm saying I praise you for your network. I
Yeah,
praise you
yeah.
for your ability to market yourself because not everybody could do that, dog.
'Cause
I
if
mean,
you-
and everybody has the same 24 hours as us, and that's another reason I have you on the podcast because one thing about me, bro, is like I'm gonna be real with you. I really hate the whole stigma of man, I gotta move out of Corpus to make it. Man, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And my whole shit is like, bro, if you're not doing anything here, you're not gonna do anything out
that's
there.
a fact.
What's the difference? If you're not creating some type of motion, period. Even if it's slow motion better than no motion. But even if it's slow motion, if you're not creating any type of motion here, you're not gonna create no motion.
But this
out
is
there.
the other thing too.
Y'all gotta get that through your head. You know what I mean? And it's people like us that take that stigma and say, fuck your stigma.
Yeah.
Watch me work. And everybody has the same fucking 24 hours. Everybody has the opportunity to create something and make it shake. So you gotta and I don't want to say you, but the average viewer who is accepting of the limitations, y'all gotta stop letting motherfuckers close the door in your face.
Oh yeah.
And create the situations for yourself and take your own destiny into your own hands and create your own situations. You know what I'm It's 2025 and you guys have to just stop thinking that there's only one way to do things.
But people too also have to be real with themselves. That's
yeah, I'm gonna be
that's the thing. It's like when I wake up every day, man, my first thing is to make sure that everything around me is okay, right? But I have my issues just like everybody else. I have my bills like everybody else. Business sometimes could be booming, sometimes it could be slow. But the thing is that I wake up every day knowing who I am, though, right?
Yeah.
And I've never taken advantage of that. I've never taken advantage of somebody else. I've never, try to lead somebody somewhere that I wouldn't want myself.
Yeah.
So the thing is that there's a lot of people that I see that they try to live this facade and they live it every day that I don't even think they really believe that they're this person that they put on social media. You know what I mean? For whatever reason it is. Yeah. But that's why I always encourage people, like, man, just be yourself. Like, if you don't really sound like that, don't sound like that. If this is your style, be that style. Like, be different. Like, don't try to follow what these other people are doing, because at the end of the day, what a lot of people are trapped into is a fad. And with everything, it dies down. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I started Crooked, all these other people came out the gate. And they wanted to do all this crazy fab stuff to where it's like, that don't even exist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, that wasn't my goal. My goal was to create something that somebody can just say, oh, that's our shit. Like that, like, we're from this place. Like, I got tired of seeing people walk around with a Houston shirt. I got tired of people walking around with a San Antonio shirt or an Austin shirt. And, and again, I've always told people, I'm not the first person to do this, whatever. I just felt what I did worked. Yeah, that's all it is. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, I don't know if they hate me for it or they feel some type of way about it. But, I mean, my goal has always just been to create something that wasn't there. And I felt the void that I feel that worked. And it's just, I mean, I get a lot of love from people that don't even know I rap.
Yeah.
So it's like anything. So I always encourage people, man, just be yourself, do your thing, like stay in your own lane. Don't try to cross over into somebody else. Be respectful of other people. Like, it's just the internet is an open gate to either destroy you or make you into something. And if you take it if you're just sensitive to, this is not the game you want to play.
And
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, straight up, it's just not the game you want to play.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's what I teach my kids too. That it's just the internet is a fake place.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know what I mean?
Internet's crazy.
5 minutes, somebody's happy. The next 5 minutes, they're crying, needing money. The next 5 minutes, they went and bought Jordans with that money, and then the next 5 minutes, they don't got no fucking money to feed their kids. Like, it's just a thing,
like
man.
A world you could fucking.
Yeah,
it's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
You just it's a fantasy world. You can be wherever you want on the internet, but in real life, Totally different.
Yeah,
person.
and that's why I tell people like the whole thing, like now the whole Crooked Chrissy thing is like I treat it like if Crooked Chrissy was its own city. There's no racism. There's no hatred amongst each other. There's no, can't come to this side or that side.
Bro.
It's just love amongst each other, man. It's about
And let me tell
communicate
you,
with the next person,
You know what, dog? And let me tell you, I got a couple of things to touch on real quick. But one, I mean, you saying on that right there. So let me tell you, dog. That shit is never as true as can be as the words that you speak right now. Because that, I'm gonna be real with you. That in itself separates our city from a lot of other situations or cities in this state, and it makes us more like Houston, because Houston is very acceptive of the black and brown culture combined. Corpus is very acceptive of the black and brown culture combined. Once you start going to these other cities, they're not as acceptive of this black and brown culture combined. So, Playboy's from a neighborhood that is mixed as fuck. And a lot of people from Corpus, we're from neighborhoods that are mixed as fuck. We're from schools that are mixed as fuck. So, once you go to these other cities, they don't think like us. They're not as welcoming to the brown and black mixture community that like we are, And then once you get into the penitentiary system and the TDCJ system, it's a totally different ball game. And I remember, being in that system, we as being from Corpus, we would get looked at differently because of the way we would act. So the Mexicans would look at us as a different type of Mexican because we don't act like them Mexicans, and we're welcoming of our black brothers. We're welcoming to other people from Corpus that are black. We're opening to them. And I remember early on when I was a solo, I had to put up with a lot of that flack, oh, well, the San Antonio Mexicans don't like that you're sitting at the table with that black dude, or they don't like, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, well, fuck, I don't know that. This is how I grow up. I'm from this city. This dude's from my city. I don't give a fuck that he's black. Yeah. This is my dude. I'm gonna rock with him. You know what I mean? So like, and I think a lot of other people, they frown upon that dynamic. And from Corpus, I just kind of wanted to touch on that. This is just how we're brought up. You know what I mean? True. This is just how we're brought up. So a lot of other cities in Texas, y'all may frown upon us sideways or look at us differently, but black and brown grow up together down here. So, y'all are just going to have to eat that. And that's one thing that's always going to make Corpus different from a lot of y'all other cities, and that's what a lot of big reason that, Corpus, they call Corpus like Houston Junior or some shit like that. We adhere to Houston.
Or Lick Town. That's what some of us call it.
Lick Town for the H-Town boys. What I mean? Come down here and get a little bit of money.
You know what I mean?
Go to that Corpus, we go hit a lick. Go to Victoria, we gonna hit a lick.
Kind of like a Lick Town. Oh, you need
that's the way we do it.
You need $2,500 to go down to Corpus.
Send zero down to Corpus. Zero's rent due. Go to Corpus. But.
Zero, unblock me on Instagram, man. Come on, man. Let's do some business together, goddamn.
Zero, get the fuck up. Hey,
Zero,
get off the floor.
Zero has me blocked on Instagram.
And
Cardi B has me blocked on Twitter.
That's crazy. Hey, but I'm gonna tell you
that's
like
how
this.
I knew I made it. I'm just joking.
I don't give a fuck what none of y'all say, man. Zero let us down, man. Zero went down bad, curling up, balling up on the floor. Man, fuck that shit. I've been jumped plenty of times. You ain't never caught me balling up on the motherfucking floor. Stop that shit. Zero let us all down bad. So I don't give a fuck. Get the fuck off.
I'm not going to get into those rap
Get
politics.
off the floor, Zero. I don't give a fuck. Y'all got zero dick all the way in your mouth, all the way in your throat. That motherfucker was on the floor and still crying about Trade the Truth. Get off the floor, homeboy. Merry Christmas, Zero Fast. Fuck y'all. Get off the floor, homeboy. But that's all to the G. And the other thing I was gonna talk about was let's see what we were talking about. Let's see. Damn it. Talked fucks up Godzilla. There was one more thing that I want to talk about before we left. Man, I cannot remember, guys. I can't remember. But we went through a lot of, that's what I was going to say. So, the branding of Crooked Christie, the fashion label or the brand wear, I know you caught a lot of flack behind that from certain individuals or just certain people that feel like whatever it is that maybe they had the rights to say this, that, and the third. And I know a lot of that comes into play when you're dealing with like some OGs or people that feel like they coined the term or coined the name for the city. But the fact of the matter is they never actually took action to create a brand or much less... put it on paper or much less create a clothing label.
But what's so funny
for that.
But what's so crazy is that there was so many people back then that came out the woodworks and was like, "Oh, I came up with that," and I said that. I think even Too Swift at one time we had a conversation and they're like, "Bro, I've heard that way before."
So let me tell you this, bro. I have even my Southside people will try to be like, "Yo, Loud was the first one to start saying that," and this is the way it came about was. Zero put out an album, and this is just from my point of view, from my situation. Zero put out an album called Zero the Crooked. I started referring to Corpus as the Crooked, not Crooked Christie, the Crooked. And then I heard G from GQ Studios. He had a song when they had their group, off the top, Jay Lee will be able to tell me this. I can't remember the name of the group, but GQ Studios had a group, and Big G was in the group with one other homie, and then
wasn't Silk?
It might have been, it was Silk. It was Big G and Silk, and then I can't remember. So they had a song that was playing on 102.9 The Bomb during the same local hour that I had a song. And in their song, they said Crooked Christie. And I was like, oh shit, we've been calling this bitch the Crooked, and these motherfuckers said Crooked Christie. That's tight. I never heard of their songs. I never heard of nobody. I never heard of nobody said Crooked Christie. Yeah. I always had just said the Crooked. So once I heard that, I was like, oh fuck, that's tight. I never heard the Wood Boys say it. I never heard nobody say it prior to that. Big G from GQ Studios was the first person I heard say that. After that, I started saying Crooked Christie. My guys who were running with me started saying Crooked Christie. And so that was the term because we wanted an alternative term to Corpitos. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Because Corpitos sounded more like it was just Spanish oriented.
Corpitos was more Spanish oriented. And at that time, I'm not speaking a lick of Spanish.
Yeah.
I am not speaking a lick of Spanish, bro. I'm gonna keep it all the way funky. At this time, I'm dealing with some people who only speak Spanish, and I have to get a translator, bro, so we could do business together. If you could fucking believe it. I spoke no Spanish. So at this particular time, I hear Corpse Town, Corpitos, and Chuco Town. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't want to represent none of those.
I don't even know what a lot of that even...
You
know what I mean? Like,
but early on, I see them on tattoo. You know, I'm going to jail and shit, so I'm seeing these Chuco Town, Corpse Town, and this is even before I hear the Charco. I don't hear the Charco come till I hear Corpitos Tango start adapting with the Charco. So this is before that. So I hear Corpse Town, Chuco City, and I hear Corpitos, and I'm like, damn, I can't fuck with none of that because I'm a city boy. So I'm trying to create this own thing in my head. Like, man, I got to come up with something because this is when I first started rapping. I need something to represent. I'm saying 361. So I say the Crooked. And then once I hear Big G say Crooked Christie, I'm like, I'm rolling with that. And then I start hearing everybody else from around the city say Crooked Christie later on. And I'm like, okay, this is a thing. So we're going to run with Crooked Christie. Yeah. we're not gonna run with Corpitos. And then from there, it was just like the wave, and the Southsiders kind of heard me say it more, so they started saying it more, and I'm like, fuck yeah, let's push this Crooked Christie wave. Yeah. So I was all behind that early on. You know what I mean? It was an alternative for us.
But you guys would be shocked about like how many people like pass by the shop and they'll read it, and this is from white, Hispanic, black, everything, and be like, oh man, they still gonna sit in my face and say that they're the first person that created.
That's crazy.
Yeah, bro. You know what I mean? But again, it goes like this. That whole like discussion on it or whatever, like to me, that's just, it's already dead and gone. You know what I mean? Like the business in itself is a real business, and I mean at this point, that's just what it is.
Yeah, to me, it's all about who put it on paper first.
So
everybody want to be the creator of some shit. Who went and got the official shit? That's what really matters. Shit.
Yeah.
Because it feels like probably even before we got the shit official, then you don't really hear nobody saying nothing about it. But then when you get the shit official, now everybody wants to come up out the woodwork.
Well, yeah, I just honestly too, I think it was just because I did it. No, like it was because of me. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna be honest, and I've said it before.
What I was thinking too. If somebody from New York and Cali would have did it,
it would have been different.
Motherfuckers wouldn't have gave no fucks.
Yeah. No, I think honestly too, and I'm gonna be honest. I've said it before. I think when it comes to me with a lot of different stuff, people try to like discredit me from shit. Like when a lot of people make these rap lists and all this other shit, I find it very entertaining that like there's so many people that are out of that list. And when I look at it, I'm like, these motherfuckers ain't even real rappers.
Yeah, I know.
They're like really not even real rappers.
Those
I'm
lists
just gonna be real.
Those lists,
no, they're fabricated, and I've cracked jokes and I've talked about it. But I'm gonna be real. There's not a lot of people in Corpus that have actually made a footprint into what some people would call the hip hop culture of Corpus.
Bro, because I'm telling you, if you just Google their fucking name, and if they don't fucking come up on Google, then how are you going to argue with that? You want to be an artist? I've done this, I've done that. If I can't fucking Google your name and you don't come up, then don't even argue about being in the conversation. You know, and this happened a lot when I had Exodus. So I would try to put on these showcases, you know, and invite these rappers that are coming up. Hey, put on your own fucking show. Put on this, put on that. Do this, do that.
Something that nobody, something that nobody ever gave us.
Yeah, something that nobody ever gave. Use my venue, bro. Yeah. You can have it for free. We'll do this. We'll do that. Just put, you know, and they wouldn't even be able to do that, or they would be like, and I'd be like, okay, well, shoot me a couple links to your videos, and I'll put something together for you. Oh, I don't have no videos. How do you not have any videos, bro? Like, oh, well, I'm just coming up. Shoot a fucking video, dog. Yeah. Shoot it on your fucking phone. It's 2022, 2023, 24, whatever.
But you know another thing too.
Shoot a fucking video.
Is that there's and this has happened with me because I've heard it through the grapevine. Is that certain things, some people would never come to me for this, or that because they never wanted to see their money go into my pockets the way they would look at it.
What
you get what I'm saying?
Is that
no,
about?
I'm being honest. I'm being honest because of what you gotta look. I don't know if you remember this one time we were somewhere and we were having a drink somewhere, and I would peep a lot of shit the way people would act. And remember, because I've always kind of just been me, right? Just the guy from the West Side, me doing my own shit. I've never really been like in a clique or nothing like that, right?
Yeah, that's one thing I can say about you.
So the thing is like, if I said something right now on social media that was some real ass shit,
yeah,
right? And it was about this or whatever with music, I guarantee you 10 out of 10 people would be like, oh, this motherfucker hating. This motherfucker don't know what he's talking about. But if Loud put it on Facebook, oh, that's some real ass shit, G. And see, that's some real ass shit,
and
G.
you want to know what's crazy? Is I feel the opposite. I feel the opposite. I feel like motherfuckers don't fuck with me because I'm so real. You don't want to admit that I'm fucking right and you're wrong.
But do you remember?
You're feeling the same way. So, but
but it's different.
Yeah, it's opposite ends of the spectrum.
But this is the other thing too. Like, you know, me and Fede were talking the other day when we were doing the rap economics thing, and you know, again because we're all older now. And I told him, I said, you know what, man? The reason why Corp is just the rap part, from a business standpoint, never past a certain level amongst all of us is because we were all trapped in our own ego.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, think about it.
I'll be the first to raise my hand.
No. Think about it like this, though. We were all trying to get over on each other, right? And some of us, of course, we have our own lanes, like we've talked about. But you've never heard a song with me and you. You've never heard a song with such and such people, or me, you, and this other person. Like, and the reason for it, when you think back, is like, why didn't none of us ever do that?
Yeah.
Right? Because everybody was trying to be bigger than the program.
Yeah.
Right.
Bro, yes,
so now it's like, but then I like what we were talking, and I was telling them, like, this is the perfect time for all of us to start doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
To be honest, like, whether, like you say, like, I don't really care about the performing part or whatever. Cool. But that's the last thing on anybody's mind. It ain't even about thing, because when we're dead and gone and what we're known for, and somebody just tries to go search it, it ain't there.
Yeah.
Besides our own shit.
Yeah.
But to see so many people that do have potential, because I always have said that, like, Corpus does have potential. The thing is that there's a lot of people that are just lost and they don't know what to do. And some of them think they're already a superstar, and it's just kind of like, about that bullshit. You know what I mean? And they don't want to hear it from somebody like me, right? I could tell somebody X, Y, and Z, and they'll probably think like, oh, this dude probably think he knows it all. And then I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, I guess I never done anything.
I guess I never done shit.
I guess I never done shit, right?
Yeah.
But again, it's because they look at the stupid shit on the internet, and they think because I'm not out here all loud on the internet and fucking throwing money in the air and doing all this stupid fucking clout shit.
Followers and fame, bro.
It's
followers
like,
and fame.
You know,
that's all they give a fuck about.
So it's kind of like that. So it's like, that's why, like, my goal with the music thing going into next year is to try to work with everybody, try to record a song with everybody, shoot a video with everybody. You know what I mean? And the same thing, like with the Crooked thing. Starting January, I'm gonna create the official Crooked Christie Chamber of Commerce, and bring people together. Bring those people that feel like an outcast, that if they own a business and they feel they can't be a part of a certain clique, or they feel out of place because, you know, there's a lot of people in Corpus that try to live this Kardashian lifestyle, and they think they're a part of this certain tax bracket, and you can't, you know, and it's just like, cut the bullshit. You know what I mean? And that's why when you see things happening around Corpus that are on a certain level, it's always the same people in the same room, always the same shit. And it's like, to me, I see so much potential that a lot of people get overlooked. So
and it's like that in different genres.
Yeah, it's different genres. But it's even bad too, like with these food places too. You know, you got certain people that are ripping other people's menus off, and you got people that are trying to copy this other person and all this other shit. But the smart person sees behind the bullshit. But then you have a whole bunch of people that fall for that shit. You know what I mean?
Bro.
And you get a lot of people that do shit for clout.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you guys would be surprised about, like, how many times I get written about, you know, do this or donate to this or whatever. And sometimes, like, I want to do so much, but then I'm very careful about how I do things, because I don't try to do things for clout. I don't try to do things and put a camera in somebody's face, because I don't know how somebody's feeling, and whether they need something or whatever. You know, it's not about, oh, I need people to see it. Like, it's just like the other day, I caught so much slack on a post that I put on Crooked. You know, I put out there, like, to the person that was standing behind me in the HEB line, I hope that like $150 gift card, you know, I handed helped. But people didn't understand what I was doing. What I was doing was that I had ran this thing where I was going to give somebody this gift card, and the person that had actually won, they never contacted me within 24 hours. Okay. So instead of just doing this whole thing and wasting time, I went on live and I told people that I was at the HEB and I'm just going to give it to some random person. Yeah. When I'm walking around Walmart, I couldn't really find anybody, because everybody looked like they had money. Their carts were filled up. They looked like they were good, and I just wasn't just going to hand it to somebody. So when I was checking out, I was on a time frame, and I just turned around, and the first person I saw was this lady with 2 daughters and a little baby. It was just them. Yeah. And I just turned around and I said, "This is for you. You could use it for your groceries, whatever. I didn't have time to introduce myself to even explain to what it was for. I had to walk out. So I made the message in hopes that if people shared it, it would find Oh man, people were like, "Oh, give a round of applause for the guy that did something for somebody." Blah 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 blah. Bro, dude, so many. And think about it, like there was some people that comment on there that didn't even know I'm the one that owns the business that I personally know, and they were talking shit.
You know what? You know what's crazy is, and I'm gonna be real with you. I haven't experienced that yet because I managed to keep my face away from the brands that I promote, i.e., Beauty Dungeon. I totally keep my face away from that brand. Yeah, they hate me, but I see them do that to El Vago a lot, bro.
Yeah,
I see them do that to.
We had a conversation about it.
He does a lot for the community. And I see them constantly attack him, bro. And I don't know if it's because of the stigma about maybe the appearance, or maybe I don't know what it is, but I seen that in particular with him.
No, it's not.
I follow him.
It has nothing to do with that.
And they constantly find a way to try to input some negative type of connotation on what it is he's doing.
No, I'll tell you what it is, because we had a conversation about it. And because Alex is married to one of my cousin's cousin.
Yeah, I told him, your wife and my lady look like they would get along.
No, we went to school together and everything. Yeah, we all went to school together, but Alex is super cool. And we had a conversation about it one day when I took my daughter to go eat over there. And, the reason is because he doesn't play the background, right? Like people know it's him. Like
he puts himself on Front Street.
Yeah, he puts himself on Front Street. But there's a lot of people that do that, and in his case, that's how he does it, and it works for him. In my case, I always tell people, Crooked Christie has nothing to do with Mr. Playboy the rapper. It has nothing to do with none of that. I created it solely as something for the city to be proud of, to grow into something. I honestly never even expected it for it to get to where it's at now. And, with Alex, it's like when you're continuously attacking somebody on social media, you are going to get tired of it. Like even with me, like when that post that I'm telling you about happened, I had to bite my tongue for so long. And then I started to see how people were trying to turn this narrative into something negative. Like, oh, clap for him. He did something. Oh, I like to do things, but I don't like to brag about it. And they were missing the whole point. Finally, it got to me to where, but again, I was polite. And this is what I explained. This is what it was. This is why I made the post. This is whatever. That post itself reached over 100,000 views. Just the post by itself, right? But it showed me this. And people that were defending me were people I have never even met in my life. Those same people that were defending me were people not even following the page. Then that became a follower. Towards people that weren't even, because what happens when a post gets so much engagement, it just starts following on people's pages as a suggestion to follow. For sure. So people were just commenting on something because they were just reading it real quick. They never really paid attention. So with somebody like Alex, when you get attacked on certain things and people are making stupid comments and people are commenting on his business that he solely creates with not only his family, but the people that are closest to him, you're going to get pissed off at one point. And when you see people rip off his ideas and you see people try to make a mockery of him, people forget that's not your average businessman. You get what I'm saying? And we had this conversation. For sure. Like, this is not your average businessman. He doesn't wear a suit. He doesn't have, I don't know all his business, but, he doesn't have 10 people putting money behind him or whatever it is, right? So he's out there grinding every day. The things that he does is solely out of his heart, him and his whole team. So when you have people that go up into your comments and they start talking shit and they start saying this, and that, and they're trying to change this narrative. And remember, Alex is a person that comes from a certain place that has changed his life. And instead of people being 100% congratulating him, you still have that small percentage that tries to attack you and try to break down your character from what you probably used to be, right?
For sure.
So, of course, the first thing you're going to do from any place we come from like that, you're going to be like, man, hold the fuck up.
Yeah.
And you're gonna put people in check.
Yeah.
But then I see what he does. He turns it on them. Oh, you want to play with me? I'm gonna play with you back. But you ain't gonna like it. And that's what happens 9 out of 10. They get upset more.
Yeah.
They don't want to play along no more. But you've had people make fake profiles, try to attack him
I've
and all
seen
this
that.
shit.
And that's what I was saying.
You know
It's
what I'm saying?
crazy,
So
like,
it's gone that deep. But
to gain that, I mean, to cause that type of traction that someone's gonna make a fake profile.
Like when he had his issues and stuff, I'll be honest, a lot of people don't know this. He invited me on his podcast to talk about certain things that were related to certain things that was happening. But as a business person, and he'll tell you this, I had to tell him, out of respect, I'm not gonna do that because my issues are more personal. They're not on a business sense with the thing that he was dealing with. But I respect him and his team, all of the Alvago team, you know what I'm saying? They do awesome shit. And I encourage everybody to, support people like him that are doing it out the bottom of their heart. Yeah. He doesn't do it for clout. He doesn't do it for clicks. He doesn't do it, to try to shove cameras in people's faces and all that shit. He does it solely at the bottom of his heart, bro. And it's a beautiful thing. And for anybody to sit on the internet and try to break that man's business down in any type of negative way, you got issues with yourself, man.
For real, man.
Straight up, man. Like, it's crazy.
Real talk. So shout out to El Vago. Shout out to Crooked Christie, the brand. It's been a good interview. We got to the bottom of a lot of things, man. I wish you the best in the promotion of the brand and the expansion of the brand. I wish you the best. I got about 3 new Crooked Christie shirts that I be switching in and out. You know what I'm saying? So
but before I go though, like one thing too, not only am I working on the Crooked Christie Chamber of Commerce, and I'm always I just sent them my proposal to do like my own little art walk version of the art walk type of thing in the parking lot at the Trade Center.
Similar
so to be like a Crooked Christie vendor block party type thing. Yeah. So where we could try to do it once every month and create a family event to where like it shows a lot of love to people that have
make it to the art walks. I cannot make it to the art walks. I wish.
This is gonna be totally different though. This is solely for those that just feel like they can't be a part of nothing, that feel like they never really get a chance to do shit. Obviously, I'll be handling all the marketing and the branding behind it and stuff. So people just have to sign up, show up if everything goes the way it needs to be. But there's so many different things from like the new designs and the hats that are coming out. Hopefully, the makeup line of Crooked Christie comes out, soon in the beginning of the year and shit.
Oh,
like that.
shit!
So, yeah, there's a lot of different shit coming out, man.
Well, that's what's up. That's what's up. So y'all check it out. The website is
crookedchristietx.com.
Y'all go check out the website. Yeah. There's a lot of great deals right now. Holiday specials. Yeah,
but please don't ask me for a discount.
Y'all stop that shit. The prices are cheap enough, dog. It's discount right now. It's Christmas season.
I'm already giving you $16
the prices
off the shirt.
are
Please
cheap enough. Get you 2 or 3 T-shirts.
But I just do want to encourage people that this is, because I hear this all the time. Crooked Christie has nothing to do with any type of street gang affiliation, any prison affiliation, or anything like that.
No, they don't even call it
It's
that
never been like that since
prison.
day one. And the other thing too is like you're supporting something that was made to represent the whole city across the board. And if you don't support things like that, then the dollar that goes in the circle disappears, and the city just becomes another city that is just, dealt with things that don't even belong to us in the first place. You know what I mean?
Shit, the other day I went out. I hadn't been out in a while. I went to go support the Tequila Mommies over at Eddie's Tavern. And I was in the back hitting my pen. I seen a lady. She had a Crooked Christie shirt on. I was like, you know what? This is the expansion of the brand. Let me hit this fool up right now because we need him on the podcast.
But isn't it crazy,
everywhere
though?
I turn around, I see the brand. And
but isn't it crazy, though, to because it's crazy for me to see people like walk around and like show, like when I hear people like, oh man, I was at the art walk, I seen all the people wearing this shit. It makes me proud, man, because people don't understand, like, to sit at a computer and think about certain things and think about if it works and just see it flourish into something that it is. I mean, even to see like somebody like Jelly Roll Ward and Angela Johnson and all that stuff. And think about it, I didn't ask these people to do this. I didn't pay these people to do this, right?
Organically.
Yeah, it was just organically. But it's gotten to where I started with 3 mock-up shirts to where it is now. Yeah. And it's just a beautiful thing. And it's like I have so many young kids that come by the shop like, oh man, I want to start my own streetwear brand. Like literally. Yeah. And like I'm always encouraged to them, hey, here's my number, bro. If I can help you in any way. There's been so many people that I've helped secretly, and I know they feel some way about me. Yeah. Fucking crazy. Blows my mind all the time. So I can always see people that come to me like just with this generous heart that like they want to do something and they just don't know where to start. You know what I mean? And I'm always the one to be like, hey man, if you need something, let me know. I get it. Not money wise, but advice wise.
Nah, I get it. But y'all be on the lookout, man. Y'all check it out. If y'all haven't checked it out already, go order something. Yeah. CrookedChristyTX.com is the website. Crooked Christy is the brand. That's right. We're going to continue the expansion of the brand well into 2026. How old is the brand now?
I started in 2013, so over 10 years.
10 years, hold it. Yeah.
And I'm going to start putting my motherfucking mixtapes in the bags now. No, I'm just joking.
y'all gonna get the CDs, CDRs. He's gonna handwrite them. But y'all check it out, man. It's a good. It's a good fashion for the city. It's a good brand for the city.
And it's all all manufactured. I want to stress that.
Here?
No.
In America?
Some
or
of it.
In China?
Oh, across seas, but I don't pay tariffs just yet. But this is what I tell people. It's manufactured. It's the same type that you buy at the mall. There's no difference between my shit and the shit in Zoomies.
Quality,
it's high quality. All the caps are made from scratch. Everything is top-notch quality.
It's not no bullshit. You're not going to buy the shirt and you get a Gildan.
It ain't going to wash off.
It ain't going to have a Gildan tag on it.
Nah, it ain't.
This is some good shit. Shit.
Man.
The caps are high quality, bro. I love my Crooked Christy cap.
But my next goal is to try to do something to where I can try to find a manufacturer that can create something that's more lower in price, so that way I could try to pitch it to Walmart and locally, whatever, and have like something that's just affordable to like somebody that's like a $10 shirt.
Plus.
HEB
Plus is the shit, bro.
And the hooks, holla at me, man. Let's have a Crooked Christy night. You know what I mean?
Crooked Christy and the hooks. I don't
know if these boys are scared out here to come work with me or whatever it is.
They worked with Dusty. Why you won't work with my man Playboy? Come on, hooks. Well, I'm gonna have to bend an arm or break an elbow or something. Hey, but shout out to all our entrepreneurs, man. Like I said, go check out the CrookedChristyTX.com website. It's been a good look. Shout out to Beauty Dungeon. Shout out to LV Boxing Club. Shout out to my guy Danny Smoke Beats Blanco and a Badass Film Company for the debut of Chasing Christmas, the short film that will release tonight on YouTube on a Badass Film Company on YouTube. Go check out that page, a Badass Film Company, Chasing Christmas. It's your boy Loud. This is Trill Talk episode 6, but we don't always speak the truth, always speak the real, and always keep it Trill. Next time we're gonna see y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Then I pass it to my bad bitch. We chop it up, she slop it up like some manwich. Shit's pretty, you can paint them on a canvas, but I'ma bust on them like a motherfucking savage. Fat essay on a jet ski, they think I'm Cali. In your baby mama tub, eating chicken salad, trying to track my package. They telling me it's hitting Dallas, and they gonna pay a pretty penny once it hit the